This is breaking news.
All the famous people who appear in the sexual assault lawsuits filed against Sean Diddy Combs. There are still few details known about why federal officials raided the Los Angeles and Miami homes of musician Sean Combs in March. The Associated Press and Los Angeles Times reported that the move is part of an ongoing sex trafficking investigation by Homeland Security. The department has not confirmed the target of the investigation nor the crimes it is investigating. The raids come after Combs, more commonly known as Diddy, has been hit by a series of lawsuits alleging sexual assault, sexual misconduct, and sex trafficking. 7 separate lawsuits, one of which was filed by his former girlfriend, Casandra Ventura, provide detailed allegations of rape, abuse, and drugging. Combs has denied all the allegations against him. In response to requests for comment from Business Insider after the raids, his attorney Aaron Dyer said in a statement, "Mr. Combs was never detained but spoke to and cooperated with authorities. Despite media speculation, neither Mr. Combs nor any of his family members have been arrested, nor has their ability to travel been restricted in any way. This unprecedented ambush, paired with an advanced coordinated media presence, leads to a premature rush to judgment of Mr. Combs and is nothing more than a witch hunt based on meritless accusations made in civil lawsuits. There has been no finding of criminal or civil liability with any of these allegations. Mr. Combs is innocent. Some of the powerful and wealthy people in Combs' orbit are outright accused by plaintiffs of wrongdoing, whether that be witnessing the abuse and not stopping it or providing drugs to Combs. Others, like Prince Harry or Nicki Minaj, are simply mentioned in passing and not accused of any wrongdoing. For decades, the hip-hop mogul has been surrounded by accusations of violence, sometimes involving other very famous names. Here are the well-known people linked to the accusations against Combs. Aaron Hall, an R&B singer who was part of the group Guy, was named as a defendant in a complaint filed against Combs last November in the New York Supreme Court ahead of the expiration date for New York's Adult Survivors Act, which provided a 1-year window in which people could bring cases of sexual assault outside the typical statute of limitations. The plaintiff, who is named Lisa Gardner, accuses Combs and Hall of sexually assaulting her and a friend in Hall's apartment after a music industry event hosted by MCA Records in 1990 when she was 16 years old. She says Combs coerced her into having sex with him and that afterward, Hall barged into the room, pinned her down, and forced her to have sex with him too. The plaintiff also alleges that Combs found her at her home and choked her until she passed out. He was worried his girlfriend would find out about the incident, the complaint says. In one YouTube video cited in the complaint, Hall says in an interview that Puffy, what Combs was known as in the 1990s, had seen him have sex. Hall could not be reached for comment. His lawyer was not yet identified in court documents as of April 8. Music producer Harve Pierre was named as a defendant in 2 lawsuits filed against Combs ahead of the Adult Survivors Act's expiration date. Both lawsuits were filed anonymously, one in the New York Supreme Court and the other filed in the U.S. District Court in the Southern District of New York, with the plaintiff listed as Jane Doe on both documents. Pierre was Combs' first employee at Bad Boy Records, the former president of his Bad Boy Entertainment, and worked with artists like the Notorious Big and Faith Evans. In the first complaint filed in November 2023, a former employee of Bad Boy who worked as Pierre's assistant accuses Pierre of using his position of power to groom, exploit, and sexually assault her. Combs and his companies enabled the abuse, the complaint says. In a second lawsuit filed in December 2023, the plaintiff alleges that when she was 17 in 2003, Combs, Pierre, and an unnamed third defendant gang raped and sex trafficked her. Specifically, she alleges that Pierre smoked crack cocaine and then forced her to give him oral sex before bringing her from Detroit to New York City on a private jet. In New York, at a studio owned by Combs, the defendants provided the plaintiff with drugs and alcohol before raping her, the complaint alleges. Pierre's lawyer did not respond to a request for comment from Business Insider. He has denied the accusations made in the second complaint. This is a tale of fiction. I have never participated in, witnessed, nor heard of anything like this, ever. These disgusting allegations are false and a desperate attempt for financial gain, he said in a statement obtained by TMZ.